Shout out to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video.
Biltong is a South African dried meat. It's almost like a beef jerky. So today we're going to be teaching you how to make it. Two of the main flavors is coriander and vinegar. You're going to need top round beef, sugar, salt, apple cider vinegar, and coriander. We're going to be using a dehydrator. Biltong is usually made in a special box, but we figured out how to use a dehydrator to make it pretty authentic. We're going to toast this coriander on our stove. The toasted coriander is going to give our meat a little smoky flavor. So what you're going to be watching is just a little wisps of smoke coming off of the coriander. Once you see the smoke coming off of some of the coriander pieces, you're going to take the skillet off the stove top. As you can tell, some of the pieces are starting to get brown, and it's getting really close that I can take it off the stove top. We're going to bring this over here so we can crush this up. This smells so good. Oh my gosh. If you don't have one of these at home, you can use a coffee grinder, you can use a blender to blend this up. We like ours a little bit thicker, that it gives the whenever it goes onto the meat and when the meat is complete, it gives it a crunchy kind of texture on the outside. All right, that looks good. Perfect. Now we're gonna cut our meat. So everybody's dehydrator is a little bit different. So we're gonna cut your meat and make sure that it fits. So we're gonna cut it like right about there. And we're gonna see if it'll fit on our dehydrator before we cut the rest of it up. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Look at that. We're gonna cut this about 1 inch, and we're gonna go against the grain. So let's get the rest of this up. 1 inch. The reason we're cutting our biltong this fat and this big is because you want it more like steaks. And later on, when this is completed, it's going to be cut on a slicer into smaller pieces. So that's the reason we're cutting it this big. Now I'm going to grab this vinegar, I'm going to pour it into this bowl. What we're going to do is we're going to dip the beef into this vinegar, both sides, and then we're going to put it right onto this, into this clear container. This is where all that beautiful flavor comes from. This vinegar, and then once the coriander goes on as well, oh, it's gonna be so good. It's crazy how the meat just soaks up all the vinegar. Almost all the vinegar is gone. We literally measured out the exact amount. And look, it's all gone. And the meat soaked it all up. Look at that. No vinegar. Next, we're gonna mix the coriander, the sugar, and the salt all together. Put it right in there. I'm just gonna mix it up. And then we're gonna put it all over our meat. You're gonna grab one of your beefs. First, what you're gonna do, you're gonna sprinkle on the bottom, so it coats the other side of it coats the bottom of the beef. And now you're gonna sprinkle a little bit around like that. And grab your other beef. Sprinkle some more. Geez, this smells, I mean, you're gonna hear me say, this smells so good, this smells so good, because it does. And don't worry, it's not gonna be super salty. If you measured your ingredients correctly, it's just gonna be just perfect. I know everyone's, oh, that's so much salt. I promise you, it's not. You're gonna need to use all of the salt as much as possible and spread your meat out as flat as you can. So just maneuver your meat around to make sure that it's flat. And then use the rest of your salt up. Don't leave anything. There we go. Beautiful. This beef is going to marinate for about 48 hours. We're going to cover it up and put it into the fridge. Alrighty. We'll see you guys in 2 days. For this next part, you're gonna need your dehydrator. So I'm gonna set this right here, and then I'm gonna grab my Biltong. Grab that real quick, right? So we're gonna open this up. Let's take a good sniffity sniff. Oh God, that coriander is like freaking amazing. As you can tell, there's that brine right on the bottom right here. So it's been helping the salt equalize. The brine has all the vinegary taste and coriander taste, so we want that to stay on the meat and have that flavor soak in. We definitely do not want to wash it off because that's where all that beautiful flavoring comes from. Let's place this over a little bit. I think that we're just going to need 2 of the dehydrating pallets. Looks like, or maybe, yeah, I think we're good actually. So the meat does change a little color because of the vinegar. And then I'm just going to take off, I mean, it really doesn't matter. We can just leave those on there. And then we're just going to place this other piece on top. We're going to set this on top and just turn it on. We've tested this recipe multiple times, and this is the best way to get that authentic South African biltong. It has the warm air, the blowing fans. So this is pretty much similar to that. Pretty much you don't have to build a biltong box. You just use this dehydrator and you'll get almost similar authentic biltong. You want to set your temperature on 95 Fahrenheit or 35 Celsius. You want it to go on a lower temp because we're going to be running this for about 2 days. And then we're just going to turn this on and we're going to have it just sitting here, smelling all this beautiful smells for about 2 days, and we'll see you guys then. Our biltong is ready to be cut today. It's been in the dehydrator for about 24 to 48 hours. Well, no, it's been 24 hours on the dehydrator at 95, and then 24 hours still in the dehydrator, but completely off, drying out. And today we're ready to cut it. Alrighty, let's take a look. Wow, look at that. Smells so good. I'm ready to cut one of these. Let's grab one. You want to cut your biltong about 1/2 inch. It's not your traditional jerky where it's a little bit thinner. You want it to be a little bit thicker. Just cut it. It might be a little hard. That's why it's very important to have a sharp knife. And it's cutting pretty good. Once we're done, we're going to put this in our sealer bags that we usually seal all of our food in. Wow, look how beautiful this piece is. Look at all that fatty pieces. This is the difference between beef jerky and biltong. You get these beautiful pieces. They're not bone dry. This is where the coriander and vinegar flavor comes in. It really soaks into these pieces. You can tell, you can still bend it. It's not dry. That is so good. Wow. Look at these. That is such a good biltong. I'm usually not a big fan of coriander, but coriander in biltong is amazing. It tastes so good and vinegary. It really soaks in all the flavors. I mean, this is a recipe definitely worth trying. If you guys try this recipe out, let us know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching our video. Make sure you follow us on Instagram to see what we're up to. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you guys at our next video.
Before we go, I want to say thank you to squarespace.com for sponsoring today's video. Squarespace allows you to connect with your audience and generate revenue through gated members-only content. Manage your members, send email communication, and leverage audience insight. all on one easy-to-use platform. We are using Squarespace to build fatfingerfoods.com, but you can also use Squarespace to build a blogging platform. Use their powerful blogging tools to categorize, share, and schedule your post. Squarespace also lets you share to multiple platforms instantly, making your workflow simpler and carefree. Use their powerful blogging tools to categorize, share, and schedule your post. Squarespace has decided to give our followers 14 days free as well as 10% off if you go to this link or the link in the description below.